Spain has intensified its opposition to the United States' Israel war on Iran by closing its airspace to U.S. aircraft involved in military operations. This step highlights Spain's position as one of Europe's strongest critics of the conflict. The decision, first reported by El País and later confirmed by Defense Minister Margarita Robles, follows Madrid's earlier refusal to allow U.S. forces to use jointly operated military bases in the country for war-related activities. Robles stated clearly that Spain would not permit either its airspace or its bases to be used in operations connected to the war, describing the conflict as profoundly illegal and unjust. As a result, U.S. military aircraft, including those stationed in the United Kingdom and other parts of Europe, will now have to reroute around Spain when traveling to the Middle East, except in emergency situations. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has been outspoken in his criticism, urging all parties to end the conflict and warning that responding to one illegality with another risks greater global disaster. Spain's stance has strained relations with former U.S. President Donald Trump, who reportedly threatened trade consequences after Spain denied access to key bases such as Rota and Moron. Economy Minister Carlos Cuerpo defended the move, saying it reflects Spain's refusal to support a war it views as unilateral and against international law. Although U.S. forces can still use Spanish bases under existing bilateral agreements for logistical purposes, restrictions have already had practical effects. For example, several U.S. refueling aircraft were relocated earlier this year to bases in France and Germany. Spanish officials have also clarified that while transport flights may continue, no combat or refueling missions linked to the conflict have been allowed. Historically, while U.S. bombers like B-2 and B-52 have operated from Spanish bases during exercises, their direct use in combat missions from Spain has been extremely rare, with the Gulf War being the only notable example under the government of Felipe González.